Do you ever wonder what you might do job-wise if you weren't doing the job that you're currently doing? I have several. A lot, actually. One, of course, is being a children's book author. Wouldn't it be so fun? And when I retire, I kind of think I want to work in a library. I just love the environment. I love working around books. But one of the things that I think I could do, because I'm a natural cheerleader, is be a coach, be like a life coach, be someone who just helps people see the vision and give them some of the tools that could help them along the way. And I've done that here and there. Doing what I do takes risk. Starting the podcast took a risk. Telling the world and even proclaiming, not just to my local community, but to the world, quite literally, that, hey, I kind of wonder if I have a little bit of an idea of what I'm talking about here. And proclaiming that publicly was risky. And it has gotten a little bit of attention from people who listen, who are in my community, who are in my circle, and they are now starting to ask questions. And those questions are, hey, can you help me? I have this little teeny tiny spark of an idea. And I have to say, sometimes having those coffee chats makes me giddy excited because I can see the end goal and I can help them a little bit. Now that I've walked the road a little bit, I can help them get started. Now, if you're wondering, am I switching gears? No, I'm not switching gears. I'm just saying I'm a natural cheerleader and I love it. And today's episode is all about being a cheerleader. I'm fangirling over the progress and I get to see it in real time in the collective. When we have our monthly group coaching calls, I get to see some of the progress. And so today you're going to hear from Kirstyn. Kirstyn hired me for a decorating SOS call, and you're only going to hear 25 minutes-ish or so of our conversation. But I hope what you see in that is that the amount of information we covered in just 25 minutes is enough to give her a full picture of what to do in her room. And then, of course, we go on for another extra 35, 40 minutes to round out that hour. And she has walked away with a very complete plan. And as I get to now take a glimpse of the progress she's made inside of her room during those live Q&A times in the collective, oh my gosh, I'm just giddy excited to see the progress that is happening. And I know she has a timeline. She has guests coming over for Christmas. And so she is working really hard in order to bring this vision to life. And you know what? We have a meeting next week and I am so excited to be able to see what she has done since the last month we've met. I'm so incredibly excited because progress, it doesn't have to be fast, but progress. And I hope, whether you hire me or not, I hope that you're taking some, not just inspiration, but you're turning that inspiration into action. Maybe it's just one little thing that you take a risk on and you do. Maybe it's two little things. Maybe it's maybe you paint the whole room. Whatever it is, I hope that you don't just sit and listen. I hope that you take action. And if you're an action taker and you love Black Friday, hey, guess what? I do too. Black Friday is coming, and this happens to be the biggest sale of the year. Well, I take it back. I have two. I have one in the summer, and I have one coming up for Black Friday. And it's not just Black Friday, because I know we are all, if we're living in the States, we're eating turkey. We're eating too many mashed potatoes, and we're stuffing our face with pumpkin pie. At least that's what I'll be doing. So the sale is not just happening on Thanksgiving Day or Black Friday, I guess, the day after. It's happening all week long. We're doing a deal week, Monday through Friday. Each day is a different deal, and it's brought to you via email so that you can take a peek at it. Take a peek and see what's new. Now, here's the thing about it. I love discounts, but I also love value. And I also like seeing new things. So if you've been sitting on the fence for a while, and if you are inspired after listening to Kirstyn's conversation with me today and knowing how much action she has been taking, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get on the Black Friday early bird list. You do want to be on that list because good things happen to those who are coming early. Hint, hint, hint. You want to get on that Black Friday early bird list so that you can snag some of the deals before they even hit that week. Why? Because there are a couple that only have a few spots. But also, did I mention I really like discounts? Early birds get a little bit of an extra discount. So you want to make sure that you're on that early bird list. You can do that by going to bit.ly/deal week early bird. That is bit.ly/deal week early bird. That link will be in the show notes. All right. Every day that deal week, I'm going to be dropping a brand new offer. Some of them you will have seen and they're just going to be sweetened with a cherry on top. Some of them are going to be brand new and you've never seen them before. All of them, however, are going to be ways that you can get off that fence you're sitting on, because we all know that you're listening to this podcast because you want to take action in your home. You just might not know how to get there. All deals lead to that end goal. All deals lead to progress happening. So make sure you're on that early bird list. And if you don't like the extra discount, no worries. Just make sure you're on my email list so that you can get the deals delivered to you. All right, let's get back to progress. Progress in action. It is so much fun. And you'll hear me say, Kirstyn, one of her inspiration photos is the exact same one that was in my living room. The one that I said, you know what, it's scary to paint a wall black, and I did it, and I love it so much. You're going to hear me tell Kirstyn that we might actually have the same aesthetic. All right, friend, enjoy today's conversation. Be inspired. Take action, whatever that action is. And if that action today is only getting on that early bird list, go do that. bit.ly/deal week early bird. All right, enjoy today's show. We grew up with the phrase, home is where the heart is, but our culture has shifted and now the message is, home should be Pinterest perfect. I'm calling BS on that message. Home, it's not about the stuff, it's about the story. And whether you know it or not, your home is a reflection of you and is already saying something. So what is it that you want it to say? Hey, I'm Danny, a former first grade teacher turned home decorator. Going from a dual income to a single income so I could stay home with my babies meant budget, like ramen eating, Goodwill shopping budget. And I learned a few things along the way, like how to bring big style to your home without breaking the bank. And I'm sharing it all with you. Tips, tricks, decor, and design advice so you can learn to tell your story with your style. Where you can start living free from the Pinterest perfect trap and start living a life of intention. Welcome to Fig and Farm at Home, where we design happy living and where it doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful.
Wanting to get it to a more cohesive space.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And
incredible.
I loved looking at the girls, like they felt their joy when they were on the carpet. This is new. I love it.
Yeah. Well, that carpet, we did not replace it when we moved into the house. So the carpet was put in 21 years ago and it was just gross.
Yeah.
So, and that's fine. We had three dogs. I was pregnant with my second. We ended up having three little ones. So it was something we didn't want to do yet. But
I
it was a time.
I totally get that. That is like our house. And I just every time I look at it, I'm like, this is so gross. We've done the babies. There are no babies anymore. Done the dog. Let's move on. So we're working towards it.
Right.
You are inspiration.
Oh, nice. So I'm like, now that that's done, but it's like anytime you do anything in the house, at least me, even if I get a new coffee maker, everything else has to be changed then. I need to clean
Oh
out the
yeah.
counters, I need to rearrange everything.
Yep.
And so I'm looking at this and it is my biggest new project, but I get hung up because I don't want to make a mistake and these
Yep.
are big purchases.
Yes.
So I want to make sure that I have a really good plan. So I've been listening to your podcasts in the car as I
Oh,
drive around, and I'm excited to kind of get a one-on-one.
yeah, yay. Okay. Well, let's make the most of our time. So this is
Okay.
how it'll work. I have your intake form and some pictures, but are you on a laptop so you can
I am.
a little?
Yep.
And then one thing I know you are just brand new to the collective, but did you do any of that homework for your aesthetic in terms of like what from the workshop, in terms of what you are drawn to, colors and all the things?
Yeah, I think I put it over on my desk. I have
Okay.
a couple pages of that, and then I misplaced a couple pages, so I apologize. But I am drawn to like a more neutral sort of a base. I really like a black and white and cream and browns
Okay.
as sort of a base. I actually painted my bedroom like a dark emerald green, all of it. I love
Did
that.
you do the
Yeah.
ceiling too?
I didn't because I didn't know that I could.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing it myself, so I bought the stuff now to do the ceiling, but I
Yeah.
haven't done it
Oh,
yet.
good. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it can be that really rich feel when you have a dark color, especially in your bedroom, where it's that cozy space. You want it to be not as energetic as the rest of your home. Okay, awesome. I love this. And you said greens a little bit and beiges. Um, Tell me a little bit about like metals, fixtures, and you mentioned transitional, but I want you to, in your words, tell me what transitional means to you. Because
Sure.
I know what it means, for me.
Sure.
So tell me what it means for you, and that's going to be helpful.
Okay. As far as metals, I like a brass and gold sort of accent. So I have accessories in that room generally that are brass and gold. The floor where the carpet connects, that's that silver color. So I have mixed and brought in little bits of silver as well, just to kind of keep it
Okay.
maybe balanced. Um, so I have that, and then sorry, transitional style. So when we furnished the house, we pretty much furnished it with hand-me-downs. So I've got like an old Queen Anne's couch like in my bedroom, and there are certain things that I want to keep. I have a
Yeah.
bar in our what'll be our library that I want to keep. That was my grandmother's. But in this specific room, I want something just very sort of between traditional so that it kind of matches other little pieces around the house
Okay.
and more modern because my husband does prefer kind of a more modern and sleek look.
Okay.
Um, so I feel as though transitional from what I've seen really marries the both of them the best. We
Yeah.
don't want all modern. He doesn't even want all modern and we don't want all traditional. So I
Yep.
think that's where we would be
Okay.
happy.
Perfect. Um, Okay, awesome. And then tell me a little bit about you're going to be painting. Are you going to be painting your whole downstairs or are you going to be just doing that room?
It would be the whole because I'm not sure if you could see behind me, but it's open concept.
Yep.
So I have been looking, I've got it up on the canvas there, two different neutral whites, like ballet white, I think is one, and feather down is the other by Benjamin Moore.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
I thought that was artwork. I was like, that's the cutest artwork.
oh, no, no, no. That's what, I keep looking at it in different lighting because I want to make sure that I pick,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
right one. Okay, you said ballet white and which color?
feather down.
Okay.
Um, I think ballet white is where we've landed because feather down, I'm just gonna walk you over here. Feather down, I believe is a little bit, is it cool or ballet white is too cool? Oh, feather down is a little bit yellow, I think. This one
So
is
the one on
up,
the yellow. Yeah.
yep, and that
You
one
want to go
is
left.
ballet white.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
think I want to go less yellow, but I still want sort of warm undertones.
Uh-huh.
Um, because I had painted this room or had it painted gray when we moved in, and it's blue. It's very, very blue. And that's fine, but it doesn't go with anything.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's the undertone I'm seeing too is blue.
Yeah.
I would have guessed that it was a gray, but yeah, and grays are tricky. They can be warm or cool, and sometimes they just present themselves differently in different light as well. Okay, from back here, can you take a look at your colors just from right back here? The colors of that, what I thought was artwork. Kirsten, that would be really cute artwork, honestly. I mean, just add a few more little splashes. I really thought it was. Um, yeah, you can see definitely that the feathered white is, or feather down is a little bit deeper of a color as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you have any more of that sample left of those
Probably.
samples?
Hmm.
One thing I really like to do, and I would encourage you to do, is grab some large pieces of tag board, from
Okay.
like the dollar store,
Hmm.
and paint the one that you think. So ballet white, paint that one on the full on the full board, and
Okay.
move it away from the feather white. I keep calling
Okay.
it feather white, feather down. Move it away so that you don't, because even sitting side by side, it's kind of pulling what it sees next to it.
Okay.
So you want to see it by itself, especially when you're you're contemplating doing such a large room.
Mhm.
And you want to do maybe a couple. And so move them from room to room in different times of the day so you can see what does it look like in the middle of the day because it looks like a covered porch maybe out that window.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
And then look at it in the room you're in and look at it in, in all the spaces. Like what does it do when we're not in that direct light?
Okay.
Is that the right color? Is it pulling the right? Like it is a warm color, for sure, but is it too beige? You might
Okay.
think it's too beige. I don't know.
I'm not sure. And that's where I struggle because we just got the carpet done on Monday. Um, and I do like it. It's a little bit brighter and wider than I thought it was going to be,
Yeah.
which is something I'm okay with.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that when I do paint, it's complementary and it doesn't
Yeah. Yeah.
make it look
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah. And so that's another thing to do. Is the carpet only in that space?
Yes, the rest is hardwood or it's like a linoleum here in the kitchen.
Okay. What color is your hardwood?
It's a darker stained
Okay.
hardwood.
Okay. Great. Awesome. Okay.
And that just kind of goes throughout.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So one of the things that you can do too is place when you have that tag board and it's
Mhm.
not next to the feather down, place it next to the floor and
Okay.
overlapping on the wood tones just to see how
Okay.
you like those three hanging out together.
Okay.
Um, and if it pulls another color, if it pulls too much yellow, if it pulls too much beige, if it pulls too much. Um, and I don't know, where are those two colors from?
Benjamin Moore.
Okay. Two other colors to consider.
Hmm.
One, and they're my very favorite whites. One is Swiss coffee, and it
Okay.
is a warm, both of these are warm undertones. That one I believe is, I think that might be Benjamin Moore also, actually.
I think I actually have a sample of that one.
Okay, okay. And then alabaster. And
Alice.
alabaster is Sherwin-Williams.
Okay.
Check those out too if you have um, a chance to do that and do the same thing. Full tag board and
Okay.
label it and just kind of see, place them around the room, not next to each other, because that's going to definitely skew what you see. So, okay, and I think you'll probably have a very clear winner with one of those, honestly. And even the ballet white, that's one of the ones that other clients of mine have used and that they've been very happy with. So, okay, awesome. And then is your plan to carry that color throughout all of downstairs?
Yes.
Okay. Are you painting yourself?
Yes. Well, so I've painted the dining room, the library, and my bedroom. Those are all on the first floor.
Yeah.
So I'll be maintaining, I'll probably repaint the dining room,
Okay.
but it is a little bit darker. And then the library is a green
Okay.
color, so I'll probably leave it that.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, I'm planning to do it. My
Okay.
husband also has me getting quotes because it is a very large project.
Yep. And especially I can see the vaulted ceilings up there. Yep. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm very ambitious about it. But at this point, I have the carpet's done. I need these walls not to be blue anymore. So I
Yep.
have that need.
Motivation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't.
Awesome. Okay, fantastic. So tell me a little bit about your color palette. So we're going to do neutrals as probably like 65%.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you want the green as a strong accent?
I go back and forth. I think I've landed more on like a camely brown.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Okay.
because I feel like that does transition in the summertime. We can throw right now I've got like orangey kind of pillows on for fall, but then I'll take them out and put, dark green or red pillows on for Christmas. So I feel
Yeah.
like having that camel color in there is a little bit more, it lends itself a little bit more to changing things up for the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
And I still like to decorate for my kids, to change it
Oh,
up. Fun.
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
I was leaning towards this furniture is going to need to be replaced, and so I like the beige or the lighter couches. But I'm thinking like a leather accent chairs, and so that was
Yes. Okay.
kind of like that brown
Yeah, and the
into.
camel. Okay. Awesome. Okay, let's take a look at your inspiration. You said you didn't really have any inspiration, but I actually noticed some from
Okay.
your Pinterest. So let me pull that up real quick. And it was really cute because one of the pins that you had, is actually one of the ones I had for my living room.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think we have a very similar style.
Oh, yay.
When I looked at this, the first thing that came to mind was quiet luxury.
I love that term.
Yeah. And it does have that nice blend of that modern feel, but you can tell it's not so pretentious or so sacred that you can't live in this space. And they are just, but all of these are just a teeny tiny little bit more modern than they are that vintage, but this marries itself well to bringing in some of those vintage pieces. Absolutely. This is the one that I have in my board. This one right here. And it
That's
actually looks very much like my living room. Um,
really beautiful.
so okay, so tell me a little bit. So the camel leather, love it. And with that kind of that black and white, are you planning on doing any black accent wall? 'Cause I am seeing this pretty predominantly in here. Are you planning on doing that or not necessarily? That feels scary.
I love the idea. I would paint the whole room black if my husband would let me, but he thinks that would just be too much. And we actually had the TV you can see there
Uh-huh.
in the middle of the built-in bookcases that he had built for the last, 12 years. We moved it over to on top of the fireplace
Okay.
a couple weeks ago. So I feel like the fireplace sort of lends with the TV on top. I could paint that all the way up if I
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's quite ready for that.
Okay.
But I think that would look good because then I think the TV would kind of disappear into the wall.
Yeah.
I just I think that the surround is like a travertine maybe. And I
Oh,
didn't know if that would be even something I would want to paint or if it would take the paint or
yeah.
questions about it. I'm open to that idea, but I have a lot of
It,
questions.
it will take the paint. You can paint over tile easy. You just need to be really mindful of what kind of paint you use as the base coat so that the rest of the stuff will adhere to it. So yeah, are you thinking kind of like this one? Let's see. Like black like this, or are you thinking the whole wall black?
I think I would probably, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I think in your home, Um, because you have those two windows right next to it, I think it would probably look better to have the whole wall black than just
Okay.
that space going up. Um,
Mhm.
but even painting, like if you wanted to paint this mantle black and the hearth black, that would be stunning. That would be stunning, and probably a very nice transition into this whole idea for your husband rather than scary, oh, black wall.
Yeah.
But that would look stunning. Okay, tell me about you mentioned the IKEA shelves, thinking you're ready to graduate from the IKEA shelves. I have an idea for you. And I actually I love that built-in look when you have something as simple and basic as the IKEA shelving that, you're not spending thousands of dollars to get that built-in look, but you can make it built in. Um,
Right.
so tell me a little bit more about that big blank wall and your vision for it before I share my idea for you.
I'm a little bit stuck, which is why I haven't put back the shelves. I've loved them. We use them. We keep the kids' games and stuff in them. And the top, I mean, I have doors on them. I think I saw or showed you
Yeah,
in the picture. So I've had, I think they were empty when I just, vases and random black, white, gold, silver sort of books and things in there. So I hate to give up storage completely, but I didn't know maybe I just paint it all black and then it's another black piece. And I
yeah,
think too, what's bothered me over the years of it is the each side is the one built Billy. I think it would look better if there was another Billy on each end. If we brought it back up, it just looks a little small for the space. The problem is that there's a light switch there on the side that has the artwork.
yeah,
So the Billy would overlap the light switch, and that controls the fan, and we use that pretty much constantly. But I don't hate it. I just feel like it's not sophisticated and I'm trying to upgrade a little bit.
yeah,
And I didn't know if maybe just two big pieces of artwork on either side. And then maybe like a bench. I didn't know. I don't know. I'm stuck.
yeah. Okay, so that was my idea, is actually what you just said, is to paint this all black. Because
Okay,
when I'm looking at your inspiration pieces, and we don't want to copy, right? Like that's not ever our goal. But
right.
you have two rooms, and maybe this is even the same room, but you have two rooms that have, yeah, it is, that have that large. I mean, it's awesome for storage, especially when you have those kiddos and games and things, but it can also be a really lovely place to display some of your items. So my thought actually was um, to get, and I don't know if this right here is, this is likely the same piece, right?
Yeah, the top part, the top two is the separate piece, but the Billy is the one long door
Okay.
on each.
So my thought was get this guy out of there, this thing right
Okay.
here, and replace it with two more of these guys so that
Okay.
it looks very similar to that one piece that you had or in the inspiration and paint it all black
Okay.
with brass knobs. And then you can add the lighting on the inside, which will make it it'll make it elevated. You can also, I can see, is this wood in the back? And probably the
No,
MDF.
it is peel and stick grass cloth wallpaper I put up just to give it some color.
Oh, okay. Okay, I don't hate that idea actually, because one thought is to kind of have a light wood tone in the back, um,
Mhm.
and not so dark. Like I don't think I would want it all dark, but
Mhm.
I think I would leave that actually. Paint the black, add the brass, and you can just use those same knobs because they're probably the pretty standard minimalistic knobs. Paint them brass or change them out, and then you have a solid unit that looks like it's built in.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
I like it. I like that thought. My only thought then outside of that is on the outside pieces, does it still need to go out wider to be more balanced?
I think you're going to see a very different look once you have
Okay.
these two internal ones. And
Okay.
so it's going to feel like a bigger unit. If you have two extra pieces, I think it's going to it might feel too big,
Okay.
that space. So my thought is honestly remove that middle piece, add the
Mhm.
two, let that be its own unit, and paint it up and see what you think about it. I don't know that you're going to need the two extra.
Okay.
I think adding artwork here, adding a plant, adding light, I think that's going to do it's going to feel very solid and it's going to look very stark, not stark in a but in a good way against that light background
Mhm.
where this white against the kind of the bluey gray wall um is not as much of a statement as you're hoping it would probably be.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's easy peasy. I love to paint.
Yeah, awesome. Black Magic is one of my very favorite blacks.
Okay.
But have you painted furniture before?
I have painted wood furniture. I've not painted the IKEA furniture.
Okay. So IKEA furniture, has that kind of that laminate top a little bit. So if you use a latex paint, you will need to have a primer on there that is going to adhere to it. And so Kills is always what I paint first, Kilz.
Mhm.
But Kills can have kind of a sandpapery finish, and so you want to paint it on, and you can spray paint it even. Um, they have spray, and then they have the roll. But then you're going to want to sand it down just a little bit because it will have that grainy finish, and then go over it with the latex. Otherwise, you can use chalk paint, and chalk paint is going to adhere directly to that. Uh,
Okay.
the brand I really like and I trust is Annie Sloan chalk
Mhm.
paint. Have you used that?
I have.
Okay. And in that color, they have graphite and they have Athenian black. I would do Athenian black,
Mhm.
the deeper, the richer black.
Would you keep the doors on or take the doors off?
I would keep the doors on with the glass. Oh yeah, I think I would keep them on.
Okay. Because they're the half doors. So I just make sure I get more half doors so it all looks seamless.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Cute. I'm loving that.
Yay.
Okay, tell me a little bit about you want to do the camel color
Mhm.
couch. So is all of this is going?
All of that will be going probably in the next 12-ish months.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, I do like the lighter couches. I feel like they help not overwhelm the room. We did have a black leather couch in the room when we moved in, and it was much smaller. It was a sectional, and it was so heavy in the room. It was like the only thing you saw,
Yeah.
like a boat in the middle of the ocean or something.
Yeah.
So I do like those lighter couches, but I feel like maybe camel accent chairs. My husband is like really adamant that he wants a recliner, and
Uh-huh.
I'm very much against like the old man recliners.
Yes. Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
but
But okay,
um,
so their recliners have come a very long way. A very long way. So we want to steer your husband away from the lazy boy recliner. That is all
yeah.
it has. If you, and I don't know how you feel about West Elm, but just check recliners, check
Okay.
camel colored recliners. Um, they're great, so great for that compromise. The game day lounging, the swivel, even I mean, literally the recline, but they look a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more like we might want to live with it, kind of.
Right.
And I know, and this was a few years ago, I know West Elm had a really good one, a really nice one, but I know they're more on the market these days anyway. Yeah, so check that. I'm loving the plan. Tell me a little bit about now that you have your TV here, are you wanting to reorient your layout at all?
I'm open to the idea. I just moved it this direction. Prior, I had one couch facing the wall like it is now.
Okay.
And then where that white accent chair is was the other couch
Okay.
facing that wall. And I had, just artwork and whatnot above the fireplace. Because
Okay.
I got snobby when I moved in and said I didn't want the TV to be the only focal point in the
Yeah.
room. I wanted people to talk and not just be
Yep.
on the TV. But this layout I feel like is even better than that one was.
Great.
But I am open to
Okay.
other ideas.
Okay. No, that's great. I think, is this where like family movie night is happening? If you're going to do,
Yes.
okay.
And then we host Christmas every year, and there are 16 people in my house for 2 days. And
Okay.
so this has created those two little like orangey red chairs are normally not in the room. And my longer term thought was maybe to put a bench there
Okay.
and then have two accent chairs where the big white overstuffed chair is.
Yep.
And that is creating for us like four more seats than we had,
Yeah.
even with the other layout.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm definitely open to new ideas. This is just where I've baby stepped into, I guess, in the last couple of weeks.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Great. I like that you have this arrangement right here because, that you're recognizing that a focal point doesn't necessarily have to be the TV. So as long as it's still functional for your family, that, I mean, if you put two recliners right here, how fun is that? You've got the cozy seating. Kiddos can sit on the couch. They don't care how their bodies are contorted, right? Watching TV. Okay, love it. This would be my recommendation. And then I would get two recliners for right here, the same one. And then over here, I like the bench idea, but one thing I was thinking was having, those giant kind of poofs, the
Oh,
structural poofs, which can serve as, a makeshift, well, very much like a bench. I mean, they can be put together, they can be separate, you can move them easily to do game night. They can be moved individually around the corner. Um, Lots of options. Lots of options. The other thing too, if you did a bench, which I really like that because it keeps the profile low. If you got a longer sofa table for
yeah.
back here, you
Mhm.
could put a couple poofs like that underneath so that now you have two extra pieces of seating so that when that family of 16, here we go, let's open presents and we're just kind of filling in.
That would be awesome. Sorry, I'm making all my notes.
Yeah, no, awesome. And I will send you this replay as well so that you
Oh,
can, in
wonderful.
case
Thank
there's
you.
questions you had. Okay, I had two other ideas for you that just as we're talking came up. As you build this thing out here, I mean, it's already going to feel like, wow, that I'm a presence in the room. Adding some puck lighting or some sort of lighting on the inside, even library lamps that you just have to, you charge them, but then you can just touch to operate. Adding some sconces, I think, right here would elevate that space and add that lighting, that really ambient lighting. And then, you can still, of course, have have floor lamps and things, but it will just kind of fill out that space and make it feel like it's more of the full picture.
I love that.
And they don't have to be hardwired, because there's so many now that you can just order, stick on the wall, and then you have the remote, in order to operate.
Yeah, I think
So it's
that'd be
battery operated.
in like a brass color, you think?
Yeah, I think brass because you're going to have that heavy black. And so I think my first option would be black, or I mean brass. Yep.
Okay. Yes, I'd like to get rid of those floor lamps. Those are another, $7 IKEA find, but they
Yeah.
work so well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
found anything better.
Right. And they're functional, right? They're not necessary, but they're so teeny tiny. And so yes, we will definitely work on some more lighting for you. And we're stopping here. Inspiration is oozing, and I cannot wait to see the progress. All right, friend, if you're ready to take action on that inspiration, again, come on over, get onto the Black Friday early bird list where a little extra cherry on top awaits. You can do that by going to bit.ly/deal week early bird. And I will see you there. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Hey, real quick before you go, if you learned something new or found value in today's podcast, would you head over to iTunes to Fig and Farm at Home and leave a review and subscribe to the show? That would be awesome. And if you'd like to connect with my community of mamas who are learning to be intentional storytellers within their own homes, join us at bit.ly/design101 group. There's always more room at the table. See you soon.